Welcome to Soul of Stone. Today, we're diving into a topic surrounded by fear, confusion, and mystery. 5 signs someone has done black magic on you. But before we begin, here's the truth most people never hear. The ancient Stoics did not believe that curses or dark forces could harm a rational mind. They believed the real danger is not supernatural, but psychological, fear, suggestion, and the stories we tell ourselves. So this video isn't about identifying real spells. It's about recognizing when your mind thinks something is wrong and how that belief starts shaping your emotions, your actions, and your inner peace. When you feel drained for no reason, when you sense constant anxiety, when every small problem feels like a sign, when fear takes over your thoughts, and when you start imagining enemies everywhere that's not black magic. That's your mind under pressure, your judgment clouded, your inner clarity fading. Stoicism teaches this powerful idea. It's not what happens to you that harms you. It's how you interpret it. No curse, no spell, no dark intention has more power over you than the fear you feed inside your own mind. In this short guide, we'll uncover the real signs your thoughts are working against you and how Stoic philosophy helps you break free, stay grounded, and reclaim your inner strength. Because the most dangerous black magic is the one we believe in. Let's begin. Sign 1. You feel controlled by fear and imagination. The first sign someone believes they're affected by black magic is not a ritual, a spell, or a supernatural event. It's fear. A quiet, creeping fear that takes root long before anything else. It doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't appear suddenly. It arrives slowly, like a shadow stretching across the mind. It begins as a subtle uneasiness, a strange feeling you can't explain, a suspicion you can't justify, a heaviness you can't understand. And then the whispers begin inside you. Something is wrong. Someone is after me. I don't feel like myself. These thoughts feel irrational, but powerful. They feel baseless yet convincing. They feel small at first, until they grow. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Your mind will take the shape of what you hold within it." If you hold fear, your world will become frightening. If you hold doubt, everything will look suspicious. If you hold anxiety, every moment will feel like a threat. Fear is one of the oldest tools of psychological manipulation. Long before the idea of curses or magic, humans understood this truth. If you can make someone afraid, you don't need to harm them physically. Their mind will start harming itself. You don't need spells. You don't need rituals. All you need is a seed of fear. Because fear is self-sustaining. It feeds on uncertainty. It grows without evidence. It thrives in silence. It thrives in isolation. And once it takes root, it begins to distort everything you see. A normal problem suddenly feels supernatural. A bad day feels like an omen. Random events start to look connected. Your own thoughts become your enemy. But here is where Stoicism brings clarity. The Stoics taught that fear is never born from the world. Outside, it is born from the story we create inside our mind. Epictetus said, "What disturbs your mind is not events, but your opinions about events." This means, it's not the situation that harms you. It's the interpretation. It's the meaning you attach to it. It's the story you tell yourself about what's happening. And when fear takes over, that story becomes dark. It becomes dramatic. It becomes exaggerated. It becomes dangerous. So the first sign isn't a curse. It isn't black magic. It isn't someone attacking you spiritually. The first sign is a shift in your perception. A story your mind begins to construct without proof, without clarity, and without reason. A story that feels real but needs to be questioned, slowed down, and examined with reason. Black magic doesn't begin outside you. It begins in the mind that fears it. And the Stoic path is simple. Don't believe every story your fear tells. Question it. Observe it. Pull it apart. Look at it with reason, not emotion. Because once you understand the truth, fear loses its power. And when fear loses its power, so does everything else that feeds on it. Sign 2. Your mind starts connecting random events. The second sign someone thinks they're under black magic is pattern creation. Your mind begins stitching together events that were never connected in the first place. It starts subtly. A bad day at work. A sudden argument with someone you care about. A small illness that comes out of nowhere. A financial setback you didn't expect. A dream that feels strange or symbolic. Even a random person giving you a suspicious look. Individually, these are just normal moments of life, the kind everyone experiences. But when fear is already inside you, your mind starts turning these random events into clues, symbols, warnings, signs. That's when imagination takes over. Suddenly, the bad day at work feels like someone sent negativity. The argument becomes a sign of dark influence. The illness becomes an attack. The dream feels like a message. The facial expression of a stranger becomes proof. This isn't magic. This is psychology. The human mind is designed to create patterns, especially when it feels threatened. It's a survival instinct that once kept our ancestors alive. When you're afraid, your mind searches for meaning everywhere, even when no meaning exists. Stoicism teaches us to interrupt this instinct with logos, reason, clarity, and rational thinking. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And this is exactly what he meant. When your mind is afraid, it tries to create explanation stories that make emotional sense, even if they have no logical foundation. This is why every culture on Earth, from ancient tribes to modern civilizations, has believed in curses, omens, and dark forces. Not because they were threats, but because fear demanded a narrative. The mind needed a villain, a cause, a reason, so it invents one. And the moment your imagination takes the driver's seat, ordinary events start to feel supernatural. Life becomes symbolic. Every problem becomes part of a conspiracy. Every struggle looks like an attack. But here's the truth. You're not experiencing black magic. You're experiencing a scared mind, searching for order in chaos. And that's human. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're cursed. It doesn't mean someone is controlling your life. It simply means fear has begun stitching its own story, and your job is to take back the pen. This is where Stoicism becomes your anchor. It brings you back to reason, back to reality, back to the present. When you catch yourself connecting random events, pause, breathe. Ask, where is the actual evidence? What am I assuming? What would this look like without fear? Because the moment you do that, the illusion breaks. And you realize, you are not cursed, you are human. And Stoicism is here to bring you back to solid ground. Sign 3. You feel powerless, like your life is not yours anymore. The third sign someone believes they're under black magic is a growing sense of helplessness, a feeling that life is slipping out of your hands, piece by piece, moment by moment. It begins quietly. You start noticing that you can't control your emotions the way you used to. Small things irritate you. You overreact, then wonder why. Your focus feels scattered, as if your mind is working against you. You try to think clearly, but everything feels foggy, heavy, unorganized. You feel like you're losing direction. The path ahead seems confusing. Even simple decisions feel overwhelming. And then the most haunting feeling begins to rise. Something invisible is affecting me. A pressure you can't name. A weight you can't explain. A sense that something is happening behind the scenes. But here is the truth. This is not black magic. This is not someone controlling your fate. This is not a spell tightening around your mind. This is mental exhaustion. This is stress pushing your system beyond its limit. This is your thoughts becoming tangled because life has demanded more than you can carry alone. Epictetus wrote, "When we cannot control our own mind, we imagine external forces controlling us." And he was right. When you lose your grip on your inner world, your mind looks for an explanation, a reason, a culprit, something outside of you to blame. Because admitting that the struggle is internal is much harder. A sense of powerlessness creates the perfect illusion of a curse. But the real cause is far more human. You are tired, burned out, emotionally overloaded, anxious about the future, afraid of uncertainty, thinking too much, sleeping too little, carrying silent burdens no one sees. When the mind becomes overwhelmed, it feels foreign, unfamiliar, even dangerous. And that discomfort makes you believe that something external must be influencing you. But it isn't. It's your nervous system begging for rest, your mind asking for structure, your emotions asking to be understood. The Stoics taught that the antidote to helplessness is agency, the simple but powerful act of taking responsibility for what happens inside your mind. Ask yourself, what can I control right now? What can I influence with effort? What must I ignore because it's outside my power? These questions are like pulling a sword from the ground and reclaiming your authority. They restore clarity. They weaken fear. They rebuild your sense of self. As soon as you begin to regain even a little control, a routine, a breath, a thought, a decision, the illusion of an invisible force disappears. Because there never was an external force. There was never black magic. There was only an overwhelmed mind, crying out for structure, for stillness, for strength. You were never cursed. You were simply exhausted. And exhaustion is treatable, reversible, human. And once you return to yourself, you return to power. Sign 4. Someone around you is trying to manipulate you emotionally. The fourth sign, someone believes black magic is affecting them, is actually the closest thing to black magic in the real world. Psychological manipulation. Because while curses may not be real, manipulation is. Fear is. Suggestion is. And human influence, when used with bad intention, can feel just as heavy as any supernatural belief. There are people who understand this. People who know that fear weakens you, that uncertainty destabilizes you, and that superstition opens the door for influence. So instead of using rituals or spells, they use something far more effective. Words, hints, implications, half-truths wrapped in mystery. They use fear to shape your decisions. They use suggestion to steer your emotions. They use superstition to damage your confidence. They use uncertainty to strain your relationships. And slowly, they influence your self-image until you begin to doubt your own strength. They might say things like, "Someone has done black magic on you. You're cursed, that's why nothing goes right. Your energy is blocked. Your luck is ruined. Only I know how to fix it." Notice the pattern. Every sentence is designed to create fear and then offer themselves as the solution. This is not spiritual harm. This is psychological harm. This is manipulation, not magic. It is not about spirits or curses. It is about control. The Stoics understood this form of darkness better than anyone. They knew that the most dangerous force in the world is not a curse, but a person who convinces you that you no longer control your own mind. Marcus Aurelius warned us, do not hand over your mind to another. Because the moment someone persuades you that your destiny is in their hands, you lose your autonomy. You lose your power. You lose your sense of self. And that not black magic is the real darkness. A Stoic sees through this instantly. A Stoic recognizes when fear is being used as a weapon. A Stoic knows the difference between reality and imagination, between guidance and manipulation, between advice and control. When someone tries to convince you that you're cursed, they are not revealing a truth, they are creating a dependency. They want you to fear yourself, fear the world, fear the unknown, so that you come running back to them for reassurance. It gives them power. It makes them feel important. It allows them to position themselves as the hero, the healer, the one with the answers. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Stoicism teaches that no one has control over your destiny except you. No one can curse you. No one can steal your fate. No one can dominate your inner world unless you surrender it. Fear hands over your power. Reason takes it back. The moment you stop believing that another person can influence your life through fear, something incredible happens. You regain your agency. You reclaim your strength. You return to yourself. And just like that, the illusion evaporates. There was no curse. There was no dark force. There was only someone trying to make you small so they could feel big. And that ends the moment you say, I do not hand over my mind. Because the one who controls their mind cannot be controlled by anyone else. Sign 5. You're obsessed with the idea that something is wrong. The final sign someone believes black magic is affecting them is mental fixation, a tightening of the mind, a loop you can't escape. Once the idea enters your thoughts, even just for a moment, fear begins to circle around it, feeding it, strengthening it, turning it into an obsession. Suddenly, every thought returns to the same questions. Why is this happening? Who did this to me? How do I undo it? Why do I feel so heavy, so drained, so different? It becomes a cycle, a mental storm, a continuous attempt to search for answers in a place where no answers exist. But this fixation is not caused by an external force. It is not the result of someone attacking you spiritually. It is not dark energy moving through your life. It is fear looping, fear echoing, fear repeating itself until you mistake it for truth. The Stoics understood this trap well. They knew the mind can imprison itself when it clings to the wrong idea. Marcus Aurelius advised, clear your mind of unnecessary thoughts. Why? Because unnecessary thoughts become chains. They drain your energy. They distort your perception. They replace reality with imagination. They turn fear into obsession. When you fixate on the idea of a curse, you stop questioning your assumptions and you start questioning your reality. You stop observing the world as it is, and you begin interpreting everything through the lens of anxiety. But here is the turning point, the moment your freedom begins. You stop questioning reality, and you start questioning fear itself. Instead of asking, who did this to me? Ask, why am I afraid? Instead of asking, how do I undo this curse? Ask, What story am I telling myself? Instead of assuming the worst, investigate your own thoughts. This is how the Stoic mind breaks the cycle. The moment you challenge fear with reason, the moment you shine clarity into the dark corner of your mind, the illusion loses strength. The fixation weakens. The looping slows down. The mind begins to breathe again. Clarity returns like sunlight through a storm. Reason takes the place of imagination. Reality replaces superstition. And you realize something powerful. Nothing external ever had control over you. There was no dark force, no spiritual attack, no invisible enemy. There was only fear feeding itself through your thoughts, your assumptions, your imagination. And just like any living thing, fear only survives if you feed it. The moment you stop feeding it, it dies. Your mind becomes yours again. Your peace returns, your strength rises, and you finally understand. You were never cursed. You were caught in a story your fear created, and you have the power to end that story any time you choose. The Stoic solution: how to break free. Completely. To end the fear of black magic, Stoicism offers tools that cut through confusion, panic, and superstition, tools that bring you back to clarity and control. 1. Challenge every fearful thought. Whenever your mind whispers, "What if someone did something to me?" ask the Stoic question, where is the proof? Fear grows in imagination, but it dies under evidence. 2. Separate what you can control from what you can't. Your thoughts, your reactions, your judgments, these are yours. Other people's intentions, beliefs, or supposed actions, they are outside your control. And the Stoics taught, focus only on what belongs to you. 3. Return to reason. Fear is loud, but reason is steady. The moment you analyze your fear, you weaken it. Fear cannot survive the light of rational thought. 4. Protect your inner citadel. The Stoics believed each of us has a fortress within a place. No curse, no negative energy, no superstition can ever enter unless we open the gates ourselves. Guard it with awareness. 5. Focus on virtue, not superstition. A disciplined mind cannot be manipulated. When you cultivate courage, self-control, and clarity, you become immune to suggestion and fear. Your perception becomes your shield. Because in the end, the real magic in life is the power of your own mind. If you control your thoughts, no fear, no curse, no illusion can touch you. You become unbreakable, calm, centered, stoic. You were not cursed. You were afraid. And now, you are no longer afraid. Thank you for watching Soul of Stone. If this message brought clarity or strength, subscribe for more Stoic wisdom and continue your journey toward a fearless, disciplined, and unshakable mind.